What do we do? What can we do when there's no movement? It is so stressful to look out into our 3D reality and observe that there's nothing good to observe. There's nothing to observe from the things that we think that we are creating. And maybe we're even looking at freaking opposite results. How can we live with that stress? We don't have to live with that, because today let's clarify why you might not be seeing movement and where to look for movement so you can actually see it. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Julia, and in today's video I'm obviously going to talk about movement. Before I get started, check out the links in the description box below. There are links to my Instagram account, and there are links to my coaching services and to my courses, workshops, and meditations. That being said, I think that I should keep it short because you guys are here for movement. You want to see movement, so let's get some movement. So the situation that you might be finding yourself in is that you have been practicing, you have been affirming, and now you want to see something in your 3D reality, but there's nothing. Excuse me, there's only crickets. There's only crickets, or even worse, there's opposite movement. I know I'm very smiley today, but I know that it's actually not funny when this is happening. So really empathize with that. I know how it feels. I've experienced it more often than I'd like to admit. And that's truth. Truth must be told. So let's first talk about why. Why is this happening? And it could be millions of reasons, but let's talk about the one reason that it's likely happening. You're currently probably still seeing the old reality. You're still seeing that the old beliefs are still manifesting, and that could be still triggering you. I'm gonna talk about why that's important. So you are probably still seeing the old beliefs manifest, and that's likely because you have not yet fully accepted the beliefs, or your 3D is lagging. So for some reason, you're seeing the old reality. If it's very triggering for you to see the old reality and you feel very unfaithful to your new reality, then you have to do more work on yourself, and you have to embody those new beliefs more deeply and release the old beliefs. I talk about how to do this in other videos. Today we're talking about movement. I'm not gonna be more specific than that. Yeah? So if you see the old reality manifest and it's very triggering, work on the old beliefs and heal them, exchange them with new beliefs, step into your new reality. If you see the old beliefs manifesting, you see the old reality, but you're like, just, huh? Like, huh? What's happening? And you're not triggered by it, but you're just like confused because you've been in a state of the wish fulfilled and still you see no movement. Then it's a sign that probably your 3D is just lagging. There's a time lag. I have made a video about the time lag. You can check it out here. Your 3D basically will conform, but it's still the old reality. It needs some time to adjust and conform. What you have to do when this happens is keep persisting, because currently, if you're watching this video, you're maybe still a bit confused about why there's no movement, and that shows that to some extent, even if it's not triggering for you, you're still doubting a little bit and wondering why it's not happening. That shows me, and it shows us, that you still gotta persist. And maybe you want to add in some affirmations about how you know that there's gonna be movement, and how you're certain that there's gonna be movement, and how movement is already unfolding, and how you know that the breakthrough is just around the corner. And what I do when I'm manifesting, I start affirming that the breakthrough is just around the corner. It's going to happen. Then I say the breakthrough is happening. I'm currently experiencing the movement. I'm currently experiencing the manifestation. And then I affirm that the breakthrough did happen, and now I'm getting all this movement, and now I'm getting the manifestation. So I really literally affirm for that. So I even support my subconscious mind with even showing me the movement. So if you're in that space, it's not triggering you, but you still are like, why? Keep persisting. No, that's the why. That's why there is no movement. If you have more specific questions about the why, then put it in the comments below, because I actually didn't plan to talk about this, but then in my intro I announced it, so I was like, oh no, I kind of gotta talk about this. So if you have more questions about this, maybe something that I didn't think about off the top of my head, you know where to put them. Now, let's talk about where to look for movement. And you guys and girls, I'm sure you already know what I'm gonna say. You already know what I'm gonna say. And if you want, press pause and let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Where should you look for movement? Yes, of course, you should look for movement not there, but here. Are you changing? Are you conforming? Is there some movement within you? That's where we need to look for movement. If you see movement in here, then you do not have to worry. Your 3D reality is going to adjust. Of course, if you feel movement and you're always in a state of the wish fulfilled and nothing's happening out there, then it might be wise to check out what still needs to be adjusted within you so you can really experience the movement. And maybe at that point you want to hire a coach to help you do that, or at least talk to some friend who is really good at manifesting. But I would say that more often than not, that is not even the case. More often than not, for most people, we're looking out for movement and we're not seeing anything, because basically we're still in the persona, in the self-concept of looking for something externally. But out there, the manifestation is not out there. The manifestation is out here. The manifestation is in here, in yourself, within your consciousness, and that's where you gotta look for it. That's where you gotta look for it. I feel I'm hyped up because just before I made another video, it's the video from yesterday about how to become your manifestation. And maybe after you watch this video, you want to go back and watch that video from yesterday. I'm gonna link it up here, because this video is pretty, like, yeah, I'm telling you how to actually create the movement within, how to become the manifestation, because it's the best indicator for yourself that you are going towards your manifestation, or that you are starting to build momentum towards that manifestation, when you are experiencing this inner movement. And this could look anything like your mind thinking your affirmations automatically more often, you're feeling more in a state of the wish fulfilled. It can look like it's easier for you to access the state of the wish fulfilled. Yeah. The most common example that I like to give is that just notice your mind is automatically starting to think those thoughts that you have been feeding it. That's a very good sign for inner movement. Or you starting to take action that is in alignment with your new self-concept. Now let me give you an example about this. Let's say you want to manifest a specific person, and in your old reality you felt like they don't want you, they are not in love with you, and then you start affirming for your wish fulfilled, you start affirming that your specific person is in love with you, and then you really start feeling like so attractive and so magnetic, and you think like, I'm sure that they're thinking about me right now. If you're doing this automatically, not all of the time, but if that happens, that's inner movement. That shows you that your mind has picked it up, is working on it now. Yeah? Or if you want to manifest money and previously thought that, I don't know where the money could come from, I'm scared, I don't feel safe. And then you start affirming or doing any other practice. Maybe you're just deciding, and then you see that, and then you think thoughts like, I actually feel motivated to go to work today. I have a good feeling about my job lately. Or I am so inspired in my business. I really, really like to create whatever you're creating in your business, services to products. Or I just feel optimistic about the future. That's inner movement. And when you see inner movement, you can be sure that you're on the right track. When you see inner movement, keep persisting. Don't give up, even if there is no movement in your 3D at all. And even if there's no movement within you at all, then maybe you're just at the beginning and you gotta persist anyway, because your mind will be imprinted at some point, and it will not take very long. What I see in a good way to imprint my subconscious mind is by being quite intuitive about it. I have certain days where I practice a lot and I'm more on the repetitive, almost robotic side, where I just affirm and script and repeat. And there are days where I'm very intuitive, where I'm maybe not doing a normal practice, but I'm really in the wish fulfilled, and I'm doing, like, I'm showing up in my business the way my new self-concept would show up. I'm showing up in my relationships the way my new concept would show up. And that is basically like an all-day practice because I'm already in it. Yeah, so I'm doing it in a very intuitive way, but you gotta, and that's why I recommend still practicing daily, you gotta be very mindful, because, and that happened to me when I'm in that wish fulfilled state and getting used to not practicing because I'm in the wish fulfilled, and then at some point I'm getting triggered and I'm falling out of that. I need to pick up the practice again. If I don't do that, or in the past if I didn't do that, well, then my 3D would go back to my to my old reality in the areas of my life that were not fully reprogrammed. And we have to think that we have 20, 30 or more years of conditioning within us. Doesn't mean that you need 20 years to reprogram that, but well, give yourself some time, give your mind some time to really adjust and get used to the new reality. It has to feel natural at some point, and I would say persist until you're really not wavering at all anymore and your 3D has really reflected the manifestation back to you for a while. If you see that you're wavering again, even after you've manifested, practice again. Practice. Manifestation is a lifestyle. It's not just a quick fix. You gotta practice and keep on being the new version of yourself. Keep being mindful and conscious, and keep, instead of looking for the movement, create the movement. Yeah? There's a nice phrase, I think it's from Joe Dispenza, who's waiting is not creating. And similarly, who's looking out, and that's my part, who's looking out into the new reality is not, into the old reality is not creating the new reality. So stop the latter, and stop the first that I said, and do the latter. It was unnecessary. But anyway, yeah, you get the point. Keep looking inside for movement. If there's none, start creating it. If there is some, keep creating it. And rest assured that as you are creating your inner movement, it is inevitably and guaranteed going to lead you towards your manifestation, because you are becoming your manifestation. One last thing, as you're creating movement, and I wanted to mention it, is when you're intuitive about that, as I do it, then sometimes you're gonna see that you really gotta just repeat and affirm. And sometimes you might not be able to feel it really. And then there might be days where it's so easy to feel that it's better to not be so repetitive, but to just bask in the feeling. That's just a little side tip from me, because sometimes when I'm really in the state already and then I repeat, it takes me out of it. That's so unnecessary. But when I'm not in a state, then the repetition can really help me get a little closer to it, even if on a bad day I don't feel it so much. And that both is totally okay. Both is imprinting your subconscious mind. So last but not least, I'm gonna link you with a video about how to reprogram your subconscious mind. Watch that. I created it 2 years ago, but it is amazing, and it's just a deeper dive into what I just said. All right. Thanks so much for being here. Again, if you want to support my channel to grow, to reach more people, I would be so thankful. Any way that you're engaging with this video is helping me, is helping this channel, is helping this video reach more people and support more people, ideally, hopefully, very, very sure. So give it a like, share it with friends, share it on your Instagram, and ask your questions in the comments, or just leave me your opinion or ideas about what to make videos. At the moment, I'm only at 1,500 subscribers, so I can still answer to all the comments. So take advantage of that now, because this YouTube channel is going to blow up very, very soon. Alright, thanks so much for being here. I love you all. See you in the next video. Bye!